The archer push-up is an excellent push-up variation because not only is it challenging and impressive, but it's also easy to attain from the basic push-up. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Alright everybody, there's two main ways to do archer push-ups. The first way, which I'm demonstrating right here, is by alternating sides. You can see I go to the right and then I go to the left. This is the most common way to do archer push-ups. Now the other way to do them is called unilaterally, and that means you're going to just one side at a time. So you can see here I'm going to the left repeatedly, and after that set I would do the right repeatedly. So the first progression you want to work on when you're pursuing archer push-ups is the basic push-up but with your elbows tucked into your ribs. And the reason why you want to do this is because when you're at the bottom of an archer push-up, the side that you lower to, that elbow is going to be tucked right into your rib cage. So as you can see here, I know the angle isn't the best, but I'm doing basic push-ups and I'm keeping my arms tucked to my side. You're going to want to tuck your elbow into the side right below your armpit, right here, against your rib cage. And when you do your push-ups, make sure you keep your arms tucked into the side, and do your push-ups really slow and controlled. Also make sure you're squeezing your thighs, your glutes, and your core to stabilize your body while you're doing these push-ups. That's going to be really important because when you're doing archers, stabilization is key so that your hips don't sag and touch the floor. The second progression you're going to want to work on is wide push-ups. Now start off by placing your hands on the floor directly beneath your shoulders, and then you're going to want to step your hands out about one hand's width from each other. Now come up off the knees so that you're up into a push-up position, tighten those glutes and your core and start doing push-ups. Now I want to point out that my fingers are actually pointing outwards instead of forwards. Make sure you do that when you're doing wide push-ups and archers. That allows proper shoulder alignment to avoid injury. Now once you can do about 10 reps of those, step the hands out even further. And do push-ups in this position to really put emphasis on your pec minor, anterior deltoids, and biceps, which is going to prepare you for the real deal in archer push-ups. Alright, this is going to make the outstretched arm much stronger. Alright, for this next progression you're going to need an elevated platform, and I'm going to be using this IKEA step stool that my wife painted so beautifully. She did a great job with that. Alright, place that elevated platform, whatever you're using, next to you, and we're going to do assisted one-arm push-ups for the third progression. Basically, just place one arm onto the elevated platform and then do push-ups with the other hand placed on the floor. For the arm doing the pressing with the hand on the floor, keep that tucked into your side close to your ribs. Here's a side view too in case that's helpful, and something else I want to point out is that the hand on the elevated platform, that arm is doing very little pushing. It's just there for assistance. Now of course, since this is a unilateral exercise, you're going to want to move the stool or elevated platform to the other side and do the same exercise but with the opposite arm. So now you can see I'm pressing with my left arm and I have my right arm elevated. Okay, and for the fourth and final progression, we're going to do archer push-up negatives. To do this, get in a wide push-up stance and then lower to one side till you touch the floor. Then, just come up to your knees, reset back to the push-up position, and lower again. Notice that when I lower, I really keep my upper arm of the lowering side pinned to my ribs. That's important. Now eventually, as you get better at these, you're going to want to do it slower. Okay, the slower you do them, then the more strength you're going to build. So notice now I'm resetting, getting to that position, and slowly lowering down. That is how you're going to build strength in this exercise. Alright, so you're going to want to focus on nice, slow, and controlled reps, lowering down as slow as you possibly can. And just a reminder that this is a unilateral exercise, so I was working my left side, now I'll be lowering to the right, so I'm working both arms evenly. And another thing I want to mention, this is key, this is very important, make sure you keep your core and your butt and thighs tight when doing this. Your hips will want to sag, so make sure you stabilize. Alright guys, now after you're doing negative, slow, and controlled, you're there, you did it, you have archer push-ups. It's just a matter of getting into position, lowering down, and then pressing back up with that arm that's tucked into your ribs. Okay, most of the pushing and strength should come from that inner arm. The outer stretched arm is mainly just for stabilization. Now, if you can't quite press back up yet, don't worry. It just means you need a little more strength. So return to the previous progressions, probably the negatives and the assisted one-arm push-ups, and keep working on them, keep building up those reps, and then return to archers, and eventually you'll be able to do it. And one more thing I want to mention, aside from normal archers, you can also do what's called typewriters, where you stay in the bottom position and go back and forth like this. I think it looks really badass if you throw these typewriters into a normal set of archer push-ups. You look like you really know what you're doing with your pressing. Alright everybody, there you have it. That's how I went from the basic push-up to the archer push-up. The exact progressions that I used. Remember not to put any time frame on achieving this. I recommend just going by reps. As a general rule of thumb, once I get to like 6 or 8 reps, I feel like I'm ready to move on to the next progression. But if you feel like trying the next progression sooner than that, go for it. Experimenting is a really good thing because you never know. You might be ready for the next progression before you think. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to Minus the Gym because I have lots of great content, more tutorials, lots of stuff coming your way soon. Alright, talk to you later.